Phrase and
Yeah, what's the difference between a phrase? You've got a phrase and you've got a clause. This is important. First of all, what's a clause have to have? Listen, for sure, a clause has to have a subject and a verb. Okay? There are two kinds of clauses. We have independent clauses. Like, I eat pizza. Yeah? That's a complete independent clause. It means a complete thought. It has a, where's the subject?
I
Where's the verb?
eat
What's the object?
pizza.
Good. Now, so that's the first kind of clause, is an independent clause. We make them all the time. Alright? There's also something called a dependent clause. Again, what does a dependent clause have to have?
First one, it has to be subject and verb.
It has to have a subject and a verb, plus
Plus,
it needs a signal word on the
Signal.
front.
How many different kinds of dependent clauses are there, by the way?
it's like around
How
five.
many?
Five.
No, there aren't that many. In English, there's only blank
Five.
dependent clauses.
Five. Four.
Two.
Four.
Three.
Yes.
3. There's only 3. Okay? Does anybody know what they are?
However,
There's adverb.
oh, sorry.
Okay? Adverb clauses, which we're going to talk about today. There are,
Transition.
what else?
Transition.
Noun clauses
An adjective.
and adjective clauses. You with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, can somebody add one of these, an adverb clause down below, to the sentence? I eat pizza.
That has many
Hold on, hold on,
sauces.
hold on.
I ate pizza because it is hungry.
You can do that. You want to do a cause and effect? I eat pizza.
When I feel hungry.
That works a little better. So at the moment I feel hungry. So we're going to use a time adverb clause.
I love pizza.
When
Oh, good.
I feel hungry. Alright? So subject, verb, object. And then over here you have, here's your signal word. Yeah? And it signals, listen, this word right here, it's going to signal in an adverb clause. We have words that signal cause and effect, contrast, and condition. Okay? So over here we're signaling, this is another kind of adverb clause that we're going to wait until chapter 2 to talk about it, but it's actually an adverb clause of time. Okay? Anyway, it has a subject, a verb, and this is actually an adjective, isn't it? Sometimes adjectives end the sentence, and they call them predicate adjectives or predicate nouns. If it's an object, it's a noun. If it's an adjective, it's a predicate adjective. You okay? All right. So listen. I want to ask you a question, and this is important. This right here, what kind of a sentence is it? I eat pizza. It is there's 4 kinds. It is true, it's an independent clause. Is it a simple sentence, a compound sentence, or a complex sentence? It's a simple sentence. Okay? So we have types of sentences. We have a simple sentence. It's a subject plus a verb, and often it has an object, right? Now, when I add on an adverb clause, what kind of sentence is that? Be careful. We have a simple sentence. We have a compound. We have a complex. What does compound mean?
Two things.
Two things together, but two what together?
Two sentences.
Two independent clauses or two
And
What is it? Here's what's interesting. This right here has an independent clause, right? It looks like this. It's an IC with a DC, a dependent clause, right? That's a complex sentence. Anytime you have an IC with a DC, we call it a complex sentence. If you have an independent, yep, good job. Independent clause, that is a compound sentence, okay? Now be careful. When you have a compound, here's your punctuation. You can do that, okay? If there's a relationship between the two. Or you can put a comma, coordinating conjunction. Do you guys know what the coordinating conjunctions are?
Yeah. So,
Fanboys, right?
Yeah.
Fanboys, you guys know fanboys?
Yes.
Okay,
And
good.
but
And we'll stop there. Today, when we're talking about adverb clauses of cause and effect, contrast, and condition, we're talking about complex sentences. Okay? Let's take a look at the book for a second, and we'll give examples of each one. Let's start with cause and effect. What's the king of cause and effect?
because
Give me a sentence.
I love soccer because I grew up with it.
I love soccer because I grew up with it. Good. Comma or no comma?
No comment.
Why?
Because in the middle.
Good. It's because the IC starts the sentence and the DC ends it. Now, if I were to stick this up here,
It will be in the middle.
because I grew up with it,
Comma.
I love
soccer.
soccer. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that you know what you're doing with that.
Thank you.
Here's another one.
Since
I love soccer
Since when I was-
since I grew up with it. It's the same thing. Be careful. Some words like since can be used both to show time and cause and effect. So I could put a since here to show
the cause.
cause and effect with a
Adverb.
adverb clause and an independent clause. Can somebody show time
Yes.
using since? Raise your hand. Somebody new. Show time using the word since.
I study at TLS since
2013.
Capitalize.
Yes, please.
I have studied at ELS since.
2013.
Now this is interesting.
Since
Since, you can say that. Since.
But this is the time. It's not
January 2013.
I want to ask you a question.
All right.
This right here, is this a clause or a phrase?
Right.
That's okay. It's a phrase, and you show time using since. Okay. Notice when we get on our chart here, we're going to talk about using prepositions. Okay. Just make sure that when
We
you
can
see,
teacher.
Yeah.
I have studied at TLS since I came to America.
there you go. Since I came to America.
Nice.
Yeah.
So at the point in time you came here, you've always been studying. Okay, good. All right, now that I love soccer,
Now that I'm professional with it.
Like because.
be careful.
Because now
Yeah, it's like a because now.
I play.
So,
Now that I'm good player. My school.
okay. It means because of this result, here's the effect,
Yes.
right? So, now that I'm a good player, and comma or no comma?
Come,
Yeah.
of course.
I love soccer. Really, it means for this reason.
Yes.
Because of this exact thing, here's the effect. Okay? Can somebody give me another one? Those are kind of interesting. Now that
I'm smart.
now that I am studying my English, what will happen in the future?
I will speak, but
I will pass, for example. See? Are you guys okay?
yes, sir.
Okay. And where's the subject? Verb? Good. And then this is your signal word. And it's showing what?
Cause and
Cause and effect. This is my dependent clause. I put a comma here. And then this is my independent clause. Okay? You okay?
Yep.
All right. Let's look at another word. So that.
I think so that they similar to know that.
Be careful. This one's interesting.
You can delete that, and it depends on your sentence.
So you want to say something, and then you start off by making a statement, right?
Right.
So that this effect will happen. So I study English so that.
I can go to university.
There you go. I study hard. And then you want to put the effect.
Yes.
So that I can go to university. So, I study hard. Is that the cause or the effect?
The cause.
Good. That's the cause. Ooh, hold on.
See.
That's your cause. So that, and then this is your effect, right?
As a result.
Yep. The effect or the desired result.
Yeah, the result.
All right, so that's how that works. Cool. Again, we're using an adverb clause with an independent clause, which we call what kind of a sentence? A complex sentence to show
the cause and effect.
Cause and effect. Okay, everybody cool?
Yes, sir.
So that's how you use adverb clauses to show cause and effect. Now, let's stay with cause and effect. The reason I love this section is because it makes you up. Hey-ya! You guys know what a black belt is?
Yes.
Yeah.
The guy with a black belt. You know Jeremy, the old academic director? He was a black belt.
No,
Do you realize that's the highest level Jeremy Mass could kill me with his little finger? You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So listen, the reason I like this chart is because it gives you 1, 2, 3, 4 different ways to
show the cause and effect.
To show
the
contrast. To show condition. Now, we understand the adverb clause of cause and effect. Now, the question is, do you understand transition words? There are in the book 2 that we use to show cause and effect.
Therefore and consequently.
Good. So give me a sentence using, and I want someone new. Give me a sentence using therefore.
Good.
Think of it this way. You have a cause, which is your independent clause. Then you're going to put, listen, there's different ways to punctuate this.
So, Mike.
You can go therefore, comma, and then your other clause, your independent clause. Okay? Or you can go period.
And therefore.
Josh, I can escape.
You got it!
Yeah, I got it.
Are you here? Congratulations.
Yes.
We gave you +1 just for getting in here today. Good job. All right. All right, and then listen, the effect is over here. Or the result. Can somebody give me a sentence? Yeah.
I studied hard, therefore I will pass.
Good. I studied hard, semicolon, therefore
I passed.
I will pass.
will pass. Excellent. That is a cause and effect. All right? You can also use the, what other word?
So,
Consequently.
You can, but be careful. That is in which column? So is in the...
Conjunction.
It's in the conjunction column if it's a so by itself. If I use a so that, what column is it in?
It's a verb clause.
It's an adverb clause. And that means, listen, it changes the structure of the sentence. See, if I use so that, all right, as an adverb, cause and effect, then I need a dependent clause following it, right? If I use a conjunction, just so, then it's a compound sentence. Comma, so, and then I put a comma. Two independent clauses. Anyway, what's the other word for, remember we're talking about
Consequently.
transition words. They're different than conjunctions. They're different than prepositions.
That's right.
They're different than adverb clause starter words because it changes the structure of the sentence. I need independent clause, transition word, independent clause. What kind of a sentence is that? Simple, compound, or complex?
Complex.
Independent clause. What is it?
Compound.
It's compound. Don't forget that. Because if you do, or if you don't forget it, then you won't get tags on your punctuation in your writing, okay? We always create a compound or a simple sentence, two simple sentences. Remember, I can do this. This is a compound. Or I can put a period, and really what I have is a simple sentence and a simple sentence. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So listen, I can also say I studied hard, consequently, semicolon, consequently, comma, I will pass. It means the same thing. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Same thing. No difference. All right? Now, let's jump over to conjunctions. There is one conjunction, only one, coordinating conjunction that shows cause and effect. So. Can somebody give me a nice sentence?
With what? With what? Even
To
though?
show cause and effect.
Even though?
Say that.
I will come early so I can arrive early.
I will come early. So is this my cause or my effect?
My cause.
This is your cause, and you want to have what effect? Or what result?
Arrive early.
So
I arrived early.
will...
No,
listen
teacher.
though, you come early so you will not what?
I arrived early.
You will not be late.
Feel late.
Alright, and am I missing anything?
Comma.
Nice, Captain Turkey.
Where's the subject?
I.
Hey, listen, you need to get really good at labeling sentences so that you know what you're creating and using. So I got a subject. Where's my verb?
I will come.
And this is an adverb,
Object.
right?
Yes.
Where's my subject?
I will be.
Good. With a negative.
With a negative.
Okay. So I have what kind of a clause here? Dependent or independent?
Independent.
Independent. Over here.
Independent.
Independent. So what kind of a sentence is it?
Compound.
It's compound.
Yes.
So over here with conjunctions, you must use a compound. Listen, it is possible, and I have seen students do this.
It's always happened, teacher.
It can happen and it can be done. It's a little weird because conjunctions normally connect things. But it is not wrong, okay, to do this. So really I could say you can use a compound sentence or two simple sentences. Alright? Times 2. Simple times 2. Alright? Everybody with me? You okay?
Yes, teacher. sometimes
All right.
difficult. to
Now
separate.
listen, this is where it gets interesting. Prepositions. Are prepositions phrases or clauses?
Clauses. No, it's phrases.
I don't know, what do you think?
I think it's phrases. Teacher.
First of all, what's a preposition? Well, they give you two.
It's a noun, teacher.
What are they?
Because of and due to.
Because of and due to. So listen, all we did is we added, remember because was over here, wasn't it?
Yes, was it?
We added a preposition onto it, and it turns it into a phrase, a prepositional phrase. Right. It needs to go in a sentence, but it's got to be connected to a sentence, right? So, I will come early.
Because of I will not be late. No.
Because my class.
After because was your noun.
Just read the noun.
I will come early because of my class.
There you go. So,
Because of my
I will come early. Think of it as answering the question why, right? I will come early, why? Alright, subject, verb, right? And then, where's your subject verb?
Because of my class.
Where is the verb?
My class.
There isn't one!
Because
That's
it's
the point!
noun.
That's why it's a phrase.
Yes, I thought it was
Okay?
phrase.
So be careful. These over here,
Don't worry.
they're always used in a simple sentence. Okay? Be careful. We are going to look at an example where you can use due to the fact that in a complex sentence. But even this one, due to my class. Okay? It's generally used in a phrase with an independent clause. Hey, we're out of time, matter of fact. Go have a wonderful lunch. And we'll finish this tomorrow.
Yes.